And with the help of two of my students, Bboy Martino and Bboy XL, I'll be teaching you guys the crickets. So here we go. Now crickets can be a really dope move, and it can be the gateway to many other moves such as jackhammers or UFOs. However, to learn the cricket, you do need a decent handspin that you can of course learn in my handspin tutorial that you can find alongside many other videos on my YouTube channel. Now before giving you the steps and the technique to learn the cricket, I have to explain to you guys that there are two different ways of doing crickets. First one is the regular crickets, which is mostly executed with your regular stab hand that you use for your windmills. The second one is the inverted or the reverse cricket, which is usually executed with the other arm that you mostly don't use for your windmill. I just want to add that this is usually the weaker arm for a lot of people because most do not practice their turtle or their baby freeze on both sides, leading to one strong and comfortable arm, which most people use for their crickets, but then leading to a gap when it comes to the inverted moves, such as the inverted cricket. So I strongly recommend you guys to practice your baby freezes and all your freezes on both sides. And just good to know that the reverse or inverted crickets are very rare and not so commonly used. So if you're able to master them and combine them, that's obviously gonna end up in your advantage. Hey, you know Coach Sambo is only sharing you that B-boy and B-girl gold, right? So don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. All right, so to get cracking on these crickets, you wanna start out like a handspin, but then not have your hand glide over the floor like a handspin. And then once your hand reaches its limit, you wanna use your supporting arm to push yourself up and correct and rotate the hand position back to its original form. So while using that support hand to push yourself up, you briefly have a moment to put that hand back into position, which is basically the starting position, and then you execute the same thing all over again. You rotate like a handspin, and then again, right before reaching your limit, pushing yourself back up and putting that hand back in the original position. Now, how well you master your baby freeze and your handspin will play a big part in how fast you will pick up these crickets. It does demand a little bit of strength and a little bit of comfort within this baby freeze position for you to be able to execute this multiple times. Also, it's good to add that the legs do kick out and pump a little bit to help you with that jump. However, don't count on them too much because most of the hop and the jump is performed out of arm strength. And this technique applies for the regular crickets, but also for the reverse or inverted cricket. It's basically a little bit of a handspin and a hopping baby freeze combined together. And the old school b-boys from my city used to call this move the hopping handspin. So I'm curious to know what the different names are that you use for this move in your particular region of the world. Let us know in the comments down below. Now, as time passes and you practice this move, speed will improve over time, so you get more and more comfortable, so you can really start pushing bars and start to give yourself more lift. Now, the faster you execute these crickets, the lighter it will feel and the easier they will become. And then once you start to reach a point of mastery, the next thing you want to do is combine the crickets, finding dope ways to get into the crickets and dope ways to get back out of the crickets, so you can play around with the cricket and ultimately use it in battle. Also, I want to add that crickets is very demanding for the wrists, so make sure you get a decent warm-up for your wrists before training and working on these crickets, because otherwise you're going to injure your wrists really quick, and then obviously the move would not evolve as fast as it could if you just have a proper warm-up. And then the next thing you can learn out of these crickets is the jackhammer that you can also find on my YouTube channel, of course. And if you're looking for more advanced and more in-depth content, then definitely check out my website because I got multiple masterclasses that are quite frankly straight out of the future. Great Scott. This is your boy Coach Sambo, your online b-boy coach, and at the end of the day, when you think about it, it's just all about that b-boy shit. Peace.